Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Autumn Transport Podcast. Kind of a special edition today. We're going live on a Friday afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota and got a great guest with us today. I'm happy to have Dr. Mark Manera here with us. Hey, Dr. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. And happy Friday.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I see you got it there on the screen there. You're the founder of Offshift, and I grabbed that logo there for you. Throw that up on the screen there.
Love
Tell
it.
me about Offshift. What's it all about?
Yeah, so Offshift is all about how can we help drivers be healthier. So we're a digital health company. We typically work with trucking companies as an employee benefit, and we've built the whole product around the lifestyle of a driver. So a lot of these health benefits, specifically things on the lifestyle side of things of helping drivers move more, help them eat healthier, help them, with the lifestyle changes. A lot of the solutions that companies have available to offer to their employees are all industry agnostic, which really means they were built for like some software engineer in a cubicle and just handed to a driver as an afterthought, and it just
Right.
doesn't really fit into their lifestyle. Definitely doesn't speak the language and doesn't just understand the culture of the industry. And if I was a driver sitting in that spot, I wouldn't want to use it either, because it just doesn't understand my lifestyle and some of the barriers that I face out on the road. And so what we do at Offshift is really combat that by I've done ride-alongs. I've done everything I possibly can outside of, going and getting my CDL. My background is I have a doctorate degree in physical therapy, and a bunch of
Okay.
truck drivers walked into the clinic that I was working at 4 years ago and threw me down this rabbit hole, and I haven't looked back. And
Okay.
so I've just really spent the time to get to know drivers, get to know their lifestyle, and get to know what's actually making it difficult out on the road to live a healthy, happy life. And we've built something that doesn't say, hey, here's a plan, you got to flip your whole lifestyle upside down and change everything, but it's how can we incorporate healthier habits, healthier activities into the little pieces of 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there, anywhere you drive, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's super important. So you were not like a trucker's kid like me. You were just working in the health industry, doing physical therapy, and saw this need, and decided, hey, I want to build something that can be a solution to this need.
Yeah, I mean, so there was a driver I was working with. He hobbled in the clinic, still loopy on pain meds, like less than 24 hours after he had a total knee replacement. And man, we just hit it off. I worked with him for months, and for a couple times a week for probably 3 or 4 months, helping him rehab his knee and get back into the truck. But he was 37 years as an over-the-road truck driver,
Oh man.
family of 5 at home, and just loved everything about trucking. Told me
Yeah.
all the probably big fish stories of his life out on the road. And then also, just told me some of the struggles out there, and also some of the sacrifices he had to make away from his family, and then also for his health. Right.
Yeah.
And we just really bonded, really gave me like a front row view on what his life is like, and then some of the struggles on a day-to-day basis out on the road when trying to be more physically active, when trying to find healthy options at the truck stops or wherever he was stopped to eat at. And
Yeah.
just I'm a little bit of a research health nerd, so I just dug in and learned more about the industry, and was just shocked that no one had really came in and built something specifically for drivers. And the fact that everyone listening to this driving and across the country is like the backbone of our whole economy, our whole country. Of this coffee mug, the coffee
Right.
that I have in the mug wouldn't be at the store, and I wouldn't be able to be drinking it today if drivers didn't deliver it there. And these drivers are struggling with diabetes, with obesity, with other health conditions. And I didn't feel as though anyone had really came in and met them where they're at, and really taken the time to understand the actual struggles they deal with and
Yeah.
build something special for them. And so that's what I've done, and that's what I'm continuing to do.
That's great, man. I saw on your website here. I'm going to pull up this screen here from this is right off your website.
Yeah.
Just some really scary statistics. And I've heard about these statistics. We've had someone come on our podcast before and kind of talk about health, and in researching for that, looked at what a career as a driver can do to a body. But especially these bullet points that you have here, a life expectancy 16 years less than average population. I mean, that's staggering. The highest rate of obesity among all U.S. occupations. I know that I've been with Autumn Transport here for 11 years, and I've seen all kinds of different drivers come and go, and all different types of body types
Yeah.
go. But definitely, obesity among truck drivers is a very big problem. The highest rate of diabetes among all U.S. occupations. We have one of our drivers, his name's Roy Wallace. He usually tunes into some of these, and he actually has taken his fight with diabetes just into the ring, and he's beat the crap out of it. He's been
Let's go,
keeping his
Roy.
diabetes down,
Oh, I
and
love it.
started a support group on Facebook for other drivers. It's called Type 2 for the Long Haul, I think is the name of his
Oh
support group.
man, I love that.
But he's sharing recipes and exercises and other things that he does. So I think you're dead on here in the fact that this is an issue that drivers are dealing with, and anything that we can do to help them. Here at Autumn, we're all owner operator based.
Yeah.
And so we don't necessarily have any type of a company program, but I think I saw on your website, you do like individual coaching. Is Offshift something that drivers can utilize on their own to sort of support them as they want to get healthier out there on the road?
Yeah, so we're starting to open that up. Right now, a majority of who we work with is just like the trucking companies who offer it as an employee benefit. But it's definitely an area that we want to open up and offer to owner operators. And very soon we'll be having that option for them to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was also looking at your Instagram, which is pretty cool. And you were talking about doing your ride-alongs, and I don't know where you found some of these trucks, but I was looking at just simple stuff like you shared here with 5 stretches that guys can do when they get, out of their truck, things that they can be doing every day. What kind of advice do you have for drivers on little things that they can do to keep their body healthier when they're out on the road?
Well, yeah, and that's a good story on how I got that truck. First off, I'll come back around to the advice, but so when I first joined, got into the trucking industry, right? So that driver in the clinic threw me down this rabbit hole. I thought the best place to go would be trucking Facebook groups, and for someone who's never been in the trucking industry before, the trucking Facebook groups with a bunch of drivers is the Wild West of just. Every driver out there has some amazing opinions, and I learned a whole lot. And it was a great time. But I actually got started posting in some of them, and just got 20 truck drivers. This was 4 years ago to do some beta testing with me and give some thoughts on, hey, what can we do? And I learned a lot on doing stuff outside of the truck, doing stuff inside the truck from a work exercise standpoint, what healthy foods at the truck stops, going to truck stops, talking to drivers and everything like that. But actually one of our early members was driving through, I'm in St. Louis. And so she was actually driving through St. Louis and had her 36-hour break here. And I was able to go buy her lunch and then use her truck to film a bunch of videos. So those are the videos that are from, and from an standpoint of like, how do we help drivers, right? And like, what tips do I have? I think the big key things here are, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you go on social media as a whole, and like you're scrolling for about 10 minutes and you come out of there with like 5 or 6 diet tips that like are all complete contradictories of themselves. Right. And you're like, I need to be doing this. No, I need to be doing that. No, I need to be doing this. And it's like, I think most people know, especially like, most drivers are very intelligent people who like know that, we should probably be eating less Twinkies and more fruits and vegetables, right? We should be eating, drinking less sugar. We should be, eating more protein throughout the day, right? That's very important, especially as we get older. And then on top of that, there's no silver bullet on the physical activity side of things. So it's find something that you will do on a consistent basis and what you enjoy. So is it, Is it as easy as some stretching that you can do, either in the morning before your pre-trip, or, before you go to bed at night, right in the back of your cab, or even just getting into the habit of, when you're fueling up, doing a couple of laps around your truck, or doing some stretches right there, stretching your hamstrings out, or, whatever that is. Or that might be, you like doing some circuit training or resistance training with a resistance band, right? Whatever that is for you, start there, right? Start with 5 minutes, even a couple of times a week, and then just build on top of that. The best exercise routine, the best diet, there's no perfect one, but the best one for each of us is one that you will do consistently for a long period of time. And what we always talk about with members is, I don't really care where your starting point is. I care where you're still at a year from today, right? And so if you start and make this huge flip, flip your whole lifestyle upside down, and you hold on for dear life for about a week, but then you're back to square one. Well,
right.
Yeah, it was a great attempt. Like, I'm glad you're thinking about your health, but I'd rather have you started with, hey, let's cut down the amount of Pepsis you're drinking and switch them over to Diet Pepsi, or switch them over to another 0-calorie beverage, and just start there and just see the impact that has. Or, hey, I'm going to go for a nightly walk for 10 minutes. Just start there. See how that feels. All of a sudden, mentally and physically, you're feeling better. And we always continually surprise people at just how impactful small changes done on a consistent basis can have on them. And for most people, they're lacking some accountability and support, which when we pair them with a concierge health coach through our app, they get. And then they also just, it's like a squirrel looking in every direction when they see something, right? It's like some people just need a little bit of structure around, all right, here's where we're going to start, right?
Yeah.
And we personalize that for each person through, our onboarding experience, talking to a coach, getting to know your goals, your preferences, what's on your mind of like where you want to start, right? Because if you want to start with adding some fruit to breakfast, that's amazing, right? I'm not going to, force you to go run a marathon, because even though we're both of those attempts are starting somewhere, you're not motivated, you're not interested. And if you ever see me starting to run a marathon, you better start running as well, because like zombies are running behind me or something, right? So I think the big thing here is like, look deep, look at your day-to-day life, think about where's the low-hanging fruit of like, what's something I could change I could change today that really wouldn't change my day-to-day routine. And that could be as easy as, the drinks I'm grabbing at the Love's truck stop, what row I'm going down, and instead of going down this row at TA and grabbing a Snickers bar, I'm going to go down this row and grab a protein bar. Or that could be, instead of, after I put the truck in park, instead of just immediately going to the back and like vegging out and watching Netflix, I'm going to get outside. I'm going to just walk around for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to get my morning or my evening routine going. And I think that's an amazing starting point for 99% of people, that then, it's like the ball rolling down the hill. It gets the spark going, and then you can build on top of that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I've walked through pretty much all of those thoughts in my own life, and it's my own journey towards health. And I know it is a big thing for people that just get started. I'm part of a CrossFit gym. I'm sure you've heard of CrossFit. Probably in your PT, fixed a few CrossFitters up that came in.
I did CrossFit for about 10 years, or not 10 years, like 6 or 7 years. I love it.
Really?
It's amazing. I think it's a great exercise routine.
Yeah. But
and the community is awesome too.
That's like the best part, just that support and the friendships that you make. And you just like going to the gym, for the workout, but to see your friends too. So that's pretty cool. But sometimes there's that barrier to entry where people come in and they think, man, I'm so far from the body that I want, and so far from the skills that all these other people have, that they don't even start. They maybe just push back and they don't join the gym. And the same thing I think happens with health, which I think it's so important that you're talking about just making those small changes. Because it is easy to think, man, I can't run a 5K. Why would I even jog? I can't change my whole nutrition. But what you're saying is you just start small. Just take that first step. I like what you talk about. What's the low hanging fruit there, that
Yeah.
the little change that you can make and watch it start to snowball. And the thing that you didn't touch on, but I think is so important and kind of builds on all this, is the importance of sleep too, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that you're getting good sleep every night. And if you're eating better during the day and you're taking that little walk and just not sitting on your phone for 3 hours at the end of the night, you're going to sleep better. And that's going to help propel the whole process forward as well.
100%, 100%. And to touch on something that you mentioned on just like the CrossFit gym and like the gym as a whole, like, there's millions of truck drivers, there's millions of people across the United States. A percentage of those people, in both categories, go to the gym on a recurring basis, right? And then probably a larger percentage don't go to the gym. And in that percentage of people who don't go to the gym, there's a large part of that are just not gym people. They'll never go to a gym, even if they've got like a boot camp sergeant coming to their house, knocking on the door and saying, hey, we're going to go do this, right?
Dragging them out.
Exactly, right? And so I don't think, when you think about exercise or being physically active, I would not attach it to I need to go to the gym. The gym is one aspect that you can do. If that's, if you enjoy that, you like going somewhere and just like this being your workout time, that's amazing. But I'll tell you what, in our program, we work with tons of drivers out there. Our most popular program is actually right in the back of your truck. We've got stuff you can do right in your cab, and drivers really like that. We don't have a ton of drivers who are trying to find a Planet Fitness and going to the gym. We've got a couple of them, and they attach their shower into the gym membership, and it works out really great for them. But for a majority of people out there, you're worried about finding a truck parking spot. So going to a gym, spending an hour there, and then trying to find parking is just like not helping that situation. And then on top of that, there's like this self-image of I just don't feel comfortable are doing it around people. I just want a secure, safe place to get started. And I think either at home or, some people like to do it at the truck stop. Some people don't, because they don't want to be the one that other drivers are staring at outside of their truck. But a majority of people love doing it right in the back of their truck, right? And I think don't let that aspect or the thought of I need to go to a gym stop you from going and being physically active and becoming more physically active, right? And on the sleep topic, it's very, very important, right? I think the big areas that can be tough out on the road is you touched on the nutrition side of things. Eating healthier, being more physically active is going to make an impact there. But going to bed on a consistent basis can be really important there, which can be tough when you're driving, especially if there's delays and now all of a sudden, your 10 hour like reset is instead of from 8 to 8 or 8 to 6, it's from 12 to 10, whatever that is, because you got stuck at a shipper or wherever you were stuck at. So as much as you can, stay consistent with when you're going to bed and when you're waking up. Right. Understand that there's some things that are out of your control, and don't just give up because something happens, right?
Sure.
And you get set up. The other aspect is, if you can shut off electronics, 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed. So you're not just scrolling on TikTok and then just putting your phone down and trying to fall asleep. That can really help. And then, just getting into a consistent nightly routine where you're getting yourself in the zone of, okay, I'm going to go brush my teeth. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to maybe do some light stretching. Maybe I do watch a show, or I read this book, or I listen to this music, and then just kind of get into the routine of it. And those consistent routines help you fall asleep quicker and give you better quality of sleep as well.
I listened to you on the What the Truck podcast when you were on the kind of the group health thing, and Michael Lombard was talking about that same thing about just getting in a routine and going after it. But I first came across your stuff, Mark, having to do with this. See if I can share it here. The Squat Across America Challenge. You got to tell me what this was all about.
Yeah. So, I think so many people, like you see some of those statistics, and
those are good squats right there. Who's ever doing that?
That's mine. That's me. I jumped out there. Yeah. So I think too many people take some of the things way too serious and they forget to have fun. And I don't think this has to be boring and not be fun. And I think that there's ways that we can get drivers and other people across the supply chain and building the community of people. Hey, I'm thinking about my health. And so for us, it was, how can we get people posting, starting to have the conversation about health out on social media? And one of the ways was, hey, our goal was to get a video of a driver or anyone in the transportation industry to do a video of doing 10 air squats in every single state of the United States. And so we set it off. We got all 50 done in less than 3 weeks. We were so excited. It was so crazy. You'll have to find the video on LinkedIn of all 50 and share it somewhere, because
definitely.
It's so cool to see, every single state getting checked off. And I was shocked at how quickly we got Alaska and Hawaii, because I thought those were going to be the last two. And Rhode Island turned out to be the last one that we had to check off. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool just to see everyone jump in and kind of it go viral within the industry.
I'm gonna have to try to see if I could find it here real quick. Yeah, that was cool. I was like, I need to figure out something for the drivers at Autumn, some kind of a health challenge that they can all participate in.
I think Autumn is Chris Thomas.
Yep.
He jumped in. He checked off Kentucky. So there you go. You guys were a part of it. You had your team there, and we're working on another challenge as well that actually brings in a little bit of company pride and getting your company on the map. And so when that happens, we'll definitely have to get Autumn Transport on there.
That would be awesome. I've been thinking for a long time about what I can do as a dispatcher here with the team of guys that I lead, and as a company too, what we can do to promote health. Going back to those statistics that were on your website, it is such a big deal. We've had maybe 2 drivers in the time that I've been in our company who have passed away in their vehicles, and both were due to health-related things, obesity, heart disease. These 2 gentlemen they had heart attacks in their trucks. And that's just something that you hear about, where a guy doesn't call in and you got to do a wellness check and someone finds something that they don't ever want to find. And, the majority of our drivers, they got families at home. They have kids that they like to go home and see. They have grandkids that they want to pick up and tool around and take to the beach and be able to live a healthy lifestyle and enjoy those families. And this is just a profession that is really, really hard on that. I'm amazed. I want to compliment you on how you've picked up all the lingo. You've definitely immersed yourself into the trucking world, and I couldn't walk into a PT office and start dropping that kind of knowledge on a PT guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been 4 years in the industry. I feel as though, I always joke, I got my MBA in trucking over these last couple of years, because again, if I was, I talk the talk, but I have to walk the walk, and I have to really immerse myself and go to the shows, go to the conferences, talk to drivers. I've spent a lot of time in this industry and getting to know it. And, I said, again, I've tried to do everything I possibly can without going to get my CDL and start driving for Autumn. So,
well, I got a few spots on the team, Mark. You're more than welcome. Although one of the other dispatchers here, he's a big Cubs guy. And if you're a Cardinal guy, I don't think that would work out.
Well, hey, we're playing pretty good baseball now, but yeah, so no, but yeah, I think in general, I think that companies in the transportation industry have a really interesting opportunity to help a ton of their drivers by making it a part of the conversation, making it a part of the company culture. And, if you're able to, offering benefits that are specific to your driver's lifestyle, speak the language, and get them actually engaged with their health. Because if I was a driver and I was looking at XYZ Blue Cross Blue Shield wellness program, I would just laugh and be like, this is not going to work for me, right? And that's what's happened in the industry, and that's why a lot of these companies and a lot of these drivers have a sour taste in their mouth for these health initiatives, because no one's really taking the time to understand their lifestyle and really innovated and like creatively created a program that actually fits the driver's lifestyle. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Well, that's pretty cool. I appreciate you taking some time to come on and talk about what Offshift is up to. You
Yeah.
have a competitor out on Google. I was trying to find your website there, looking up Offshift, and it's like some cryptocurrency trading crazy thing that's competing for your search results. So
Oh man.
we got to get you popped up to the top of the list.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah. Don't buy Offshift coin. Buy Offshift health memberships. There you go.
There you go. I
Yeah.
support that. Yeah. All right. Well, anything you want to say here, Mark, before we sign off?
No, thank you so much for having me on. Enjoyed the conversation. And if there's ever a time you want to talk about health again, have me back on. I'm a email away.
And I threw your Twitter handle up there,
Thank
or
you.
your Instagram. I'm assuming your Twitter is the
Yeah.
same if you're on there. So if anybody wants to reach out, shoot Mark a message. You can learn more about Offshift. It looks like a company that's doing really great things for drivers, and it's filling a need that's out there. We don't want to see any other health related issues with drivers at Autumn or anybody else in the industry. And you guys, you got a tough job, and we want to try to support you and encourage you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. So thanks, Mark. Take care.
Thanks
Have
so
a
much
good
for
day.
having me on. Yeah, you too.
All right. Bye.